Okay, we're back. What the fuck? Less time now? I'll get that. Okay, well, we're gonna keep on rolling. So I went to Florida yesterday, and it was for 2 days. I went there for 2 days, I guess. It was really fun. It was beautiful. It was pretty fun. I quickly got marred at night by fucking COVID terrors. And I don't really blame the people for that. I think I get it. Especially the culture's different down there. And I just blame COVID. I'm not even like as mad at people who are anti-vax or anti-mask. Now, I still hold my position that they should do both those things, but I don't know, in this moment, at least with them, they all seem, it just got out of hand, I think. And some of them, like social cues and social pressures, have a big effect on us. And like people that would normally wear a mask didn't, because the other people weren't, it didn't. And then they went there, and you don't want to be the only group wearing a mask, because it does feel weird, and you think people are gonna. In the rhetoric coming from the anti-mask side is so aggressive and so it just seems violent. Not to say that rhetoric represents the anti-mask side by any means, because I don't think it really does. Other than a small percentage, and then how many of them have just been like brainwashed into thinking that. And it seriously though, it felt like immoral to be. We went to this house, and it was going to be small, and it just kind of blew up. And honestly, it blew up like organically. Like it didn't seem like everyone was surprised. And even the people, as they show up, they're like looking around like, wow, there's a lot of people here. And all of a sudden, there was like 15 like college-age people and up hanging around, and then plus some older adults. And I'm right at that transition period between the two. That little transition period that's like fucking 15 years long. But yeah, I mean, I've been in that little nestle for a minute now, where if I'm hanging out with like 40-year-olds and 21-year-olds, I have as much in common with the 40-year-olds as I do with the 21-year-olds, but that's not very much. Like, even generationally. But I really do appreciate young people younger than me, and I hope I always do. I made a post about this the other day. Like, that's how you get out of touch, is when you stop valuing young people or stop appreciating them. Because yeah, whatever they do is always going to seem weird. And I think that the absurdism of today is a little bit more, it's like kind of whitewashed, genericized a little bit. It's not as underground and guerrilla, but that's okay. It's just it's in vogue right now, and I'm glad it's in vogue. And through that, we still will also probably get some of the best absurdism ever, in kind of a Dada era, post-millennial, because millennials took everything very seriously, I think. And Gen Z is coping. I was kind of on the end of that. I got the worst of both fucking worlds, so I still take things way too fucking seriously. But then, I guess for me, that I always made, I think I'd like absurdism in any era that I existed in. Whether it is the most popular form of expression or the least popular. I just will always like absurdism, which is different than a lot of things I like, because a lot of things I like are motivated by how it fits in society, you know, because I want to contrast and not just like, I think it's the right thing to do. I think we should all try and contrast each other, at least a little bit, and balance each other out. But anyways, so this is all coming back to, let's talk beautiful. Hey there. So anyways, yeah, we're hanging out with all these young people, and it was getting out of hand. It was all indoors. I'm like, guys, it's like fucking 70 degrees outside. Let's go outside. But they were all really cool. And then I like couldn't drink, which is no one's fault except, I guess, mine for getting tonsillitis, or the chances of that happening, I guess, probably from me smoking. And then like sleeping with my mouth open. But so yeah, and then it was just like it could only be like 30% as fun as it ever could for me. And so I feel bad. Like, I hope I wasn't a Debbie Downer. I think I did fine though. I don't think I was. I knew the whole time as I'm going, I'm like, Ryan, this is like no one's fault, and the right thing to do is to support Michaela, because she's with her friends and she had kind of had a tough week, and so I was happy to do it. I was just hoping. I have a tendency to just emit energy that I can't hide. Like, I can put on my customer service face and smile and like and go along with it, so I can get away. It totally works if people don't really know me, but if you know me, you're gonna start feeling it just like emanating from me, and I'll be like, I'm trying. Yeah, and so I don't think, I'm not like defending my actions. I'm really trying to change that. But anyway, I don't think it was an issue. But then I was kind of frustrated, and this is one of my strengths. Not to say that I have only strengths and no weaknesses. I have a lot of weaknesses, but I'll do what I think is right. Like, regardless of like a group dynamic. Now, where I get confused and have trouble deciding is what I actually think is right. But I think because once I've actually troubled through a particular scenario and I come to a conclusion, because I've troubled through it so much, I'm very secure in that conclusion. So I would, if I think something's right and necessary to do so, I'd give up every friendship I have, I'd give up every relationship because it's right. But that's if I really, really believe that. And so I only get to that sometimes. But anyways, I really, really believe we shouldn't have been at that fucking crowded club, no one wearing a mask, like in Florida. I really believe that we shouldn't. And so we left, and it was fine. But overall, it was a really good trip. I'm wrapping it up quick because I'm running out of time.